Hi everybody! Okay, I'm going to make another video here, and this is to talk about some really cool new perspectives I've come across on gray alien beings. So I made those 3 videos to talk more about the real experiences that I've had, the good and the bad, and to try and explain as best I know at this time of my experiences based on my experiences. And sometimes you have these experiences, you want to have answers to it, and part of creating the answer or comprehending the answer or getting to the answer is you have to continue to go down the pathway of life and allow life then to be able to answer the question for you through experiences. Anyway, I'm still learning, right? I'm still trying to make sense of this whole thing. So I wanted to talk about gray alien beings because it's been kind of a long journey for me to get to the point that I'm at today. And I had kind of a neat link come to me. The channel is called The Hybrid Children. There's a really sweet girl on there that talks about her wisdom on alien beings, and it's so worth watching. So I'll put a link in the corner here so you can find her channel. But she had indicated in one of her videos that the gray aliens were actually human beings from the future. When I heard that, it was sort of like the super missing link that I needed in order to like put the building blocks together. That was the one thing that I had never thought of that I needed. I needed somebody else to help me discover that for myself. So I've been sort of thinking about gray aliens quite a lot for months and months now. I just haven't made videos or talk about it because I'm still trying to figure out my thoughts and feelings. Well, anyway, when I heard that, I heard her say that, gray aliens are human beings from the future. Instantly, I have to go into, okay, let's think about this. My first initial thought was, I don't know how, I don't know about that because there's so many different kinds of gray aliens. I mean, some of them are gray, some of them are blue, some of them are tan, some of them are like marbled. Some of them are tall, some of them are short. I'm just like, wait a second. You know what's interesting? Human beings, too, are of many different colors. Human beings, too, are really tall and sometimes really short as well. And what is it that we can all agree on is going on our planet right now? One of the biggest things that I'm a huge promoter of is let's allow ourselves to go beyond the mind-based reality, the mind-based thinking, the mind-based world we're creating. Television is mind-based entertainment that stimulates heartfelt experiences. It stimulates us, but we're not actually experiencing it through choice. We're not choosing to have heartfelt experiences. We're not choosing to love each other. Another thing that really, I did a channeling about birth control, specifically female birth control, but birth control in general. And in those 2 channeled videos, it was quite fascinating because it almost freaked me out how robotic the wisdom was. And they were really sort of flickering on some lights about gray alien beings and how we were on a pathway to becoming gray alien beings by choosing circumcision, by choosing, or not circumcision, but choosing, to prevent ourselves from being able to have children. So it was quite kind of a fascinating putting puzzle pieces together with what she said and what I've already sort of stumbled across. But I wasn't able to get to that awareness because everybody always says that gray aliens come from a certain star system. I never quite resonated with that. When you start to realize gray alien beings are human beings from the future, now it puts a whole new level of understanding on the table. When you start realizing that's us, that's how we evolve from here. That's what we do to ourselves when we continue down the road that we are choosing. We are choosing to suppress our emotions. We are choosing to suppress our true identities. We are choosing to suppress our voices. We are choosing to suppress what we truly believe in. We just let things happen. How many people are pissed off at the government? How many people don't really believe in politics anymore? How many people are sick of the news? But yet, it is what it is. We just live with it. We just deal with it. We just put up with it. Nobody's actually saying, you know what, I don't want to put up with it anymore. Actually, I want the news programs to be constantly sharing news feeds about love, news feeds that aren't trying to pull on my emotional heartstrings and create a drama and a scenario of some rich person's life that I would really like to be that person, or some really attractive person's life. Like real lives, real experiences. And just naturally real, not trying to create a sort of a scenario to add a storyline and really put the emphasis on reality. Let's just do reality. Let's just have reality. I mean, we have video games, and video games are transitioning into virtual reality, which I'm still trying to grasp my thoughts about this. You have to just choose acceptance, right? I have to just choose acceptance. Human beings will choose their own pathway. As a totality, we'll all choose our own pathway as a totality. So we're individuals of a totality. So I'm just an individual choosing to have a voice and choosing to speak and choosing to share my experiences. I'll just do that, you know. I'm trying to influence other people to see the value of doing that. Anyway, this gray alien being sort of discovery was a big deal for me because it helped me come into a place where I started to understand now. I started to understand a true essence of some bigger kind. I still can't put it into words right now. It's been constantly bubbling in my head and I can't stop thinking about it, so I gotta make a video. What else can I tell you about this? It's a really big deal for me. One of the things that happened to me in 2016, I started having this discovery that I started having these weird deja vu moments. And at first I was like, oh, another deja vu moment. I guess I'm in the right place at the right time. I had them like 3 or 4 times in a row in like one week straight. And by the last time that I had it, I had this really creepy and almost terrifying realization that deja vu isn't exactly what we think it is. Deja vu is the reality that we've already lived this lifetime before. So when I have a deja vu moment, that means that I am in the exact place, the exact moment, the exact same song on, the exact same, place in my car, or the exact same person, or whatever it is that I have encountered the last time I lived this life experience. When I came to have this discovery, it was just almost mortifying for me to tolerate, because the last thing I want is to have lived this life over again. But that tells me that the Zeta thing is true. When she says that Zeta alien beings are these gray alien beings, are human beings from the future, that explains why we all have deja vu moments, because they've come back from the future back to our time in order to allow themselves to readdress their divine expression. From what is, we no longer want the emotional body, we no longer want the sexual body, we want to have just the mental body as our forefront, our force of expression, our force of identity, molded and changed. And so they're sort of hollow type feeling beings. Now they come back and they say we want to reproduce or splice our future human DNA with human beings from the past who still have the emotional body, who still have the sexual body. Why did they come now? Why did they come at this point in our human history? Don't you find that particularly interesting? I'm in my mind, I wonder if I've lived this lifetime before, what happened the first round? Because the first round was the round that allowed the time continuum to create the gray alien race. And now the gray alien alters the time continuum by coming back to spend time with us, abduct us, reproduce with us, reassess their identities. And now we're on a whole new time continuum. So that tells me in my heart that we're going to do it right this time. We're actually going to take back our hearts and our emotions and our feelings. This time we're not going to let go of these things and become totally mind-based, but we're going to find a way to bring the heart forward this time, to do it differently, a whole new time continuum. It explains a lot to me about why 2016 was just such a slap in the face. I mean, it was one chaotic, crazy nightmare after another, and it was just constantly confusion because I never felt half the things I felt in 2016. And now things are changing, and 2017 is really proving thus far to be a real voice about pulling forward your heart, finding who you are deep down inside, and then bring that heart forward and share it with the world. And don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. Don't be worried about what other people are going to say. People are nice to me, and people are, not jiving with what I say. It's okay. Everybody has a right to feel and contemplate their feelings and share what their thoughts are openly and honestly. And don't take these things to heart. We're part of a total reflection, all in oneness. Every part of the reflection is thinking and exploring its own identity and sharing as best as it knows how. So this is me sharing as best I know how of what I've come up with thus far. I had a really cool question pop up asking, are some aliens in physical form but in astral? How do I define that? The answer to that, I'm still trying to make sense of what this all means. I'm discovering that alien beings interact with our astral bodies. What are astral bodies? What is soul body? What is physical body? What's emotional body? What's mental body? What's sexual body? How are we all blended into one? It feels like the mental body's in our brain, the emotional body's in our heart, our sexual body's in our sexual organs, and this is our physical body. Where's our soul at? People say, in the aura or the sort of energy field around you is sort of where the soul resides. The more and more I do this spiritual healing work, psychic wisdom work, the more I find that everything is within the heart. Everything resides within the heart. And so from within that infinite reflection, now you actually experience the creative force that makes your identity, that makes the connective, I don't know, the building blocks of a reality. It's crazy. How can I say that physical reality is an illusion because it's a spiritual reality? Who am I to say that? Because we feel the physicality of it all. Who am I to say that that hot and cold is an illusion of the mind, of the body, of the experience? It's an illusion. Who am I to say that? The reality is, it is an illusion. Who am I to say that time isn't real or distance isn't actually real? Who am I to say that time and distance is illusion? You know what I mean? Like, some of these things, it's hard to wrap your head around them. The only way I've been able to wrap my head around it is to discover that everything is part of an infinite reflection. That behind it all, there's just one. What comes from one? Everything. All the negative and all the positive comes from one. I mean, we could call it zero, but zero denotes nothing. So as human beings, we could just call it one. And how many times can we fracture one? How many times can we multiply one? How many times? So one is infinite, and one is also a singularity. And from singularity come love. From singularity come fear. From singularity come human beings, and come great aliens, and comes the experience of time, and comes all these dimensional realities, comes angelic realm, comes dragon realm, comes, all of this stuff that creates this moment that we're having together. It's not me having a moment with me, it's me having a moment with everybody on a video camera. Me having a moment as best as my human consciousness can make sense of the moment, But in my heart, I am a part of you, and you are part of me. We're part of each other, and we're all a part of one big smorgasbord of an experience. So you just choose to experience, and then you trust in the experience, and you just allow it to be a part of your soul journey. In the end, you just allow things to just be as they are meant to be. It's extraordinary sort of mind experience, heart experience, energy experience. It's an extraordinary experience when you start trying to make sense of all of these things, trying to make sense of this human experience, trying to make sense of gray aliens and abduction and what it all means. So it's important to think about these things, but don't allow the thoughts to overwhelm you. Some of them can be very scary thoughts, and some of them can be very positive thoughts. If you take notice, it's the scary thoughts that close us up and close our doors and move us away from being with each other and sharing with each other and trying to do a better job than we've been doing this whole time. Because we're not being out there, we're not sharing our rainbow of love with each other because we're scared of doing that. We're scared of sharing ourselves. I was scared when I first started making YouTube videos. I was scared. I was uncomfortable because I knew that not everybody gets me, and I didn't know how that voice was really going to make sense, to the people I know in my life. But I knew that I needed it for my own well-being, and it is what it is. I have to do this for myself, so in the end, I just have to do it for me, right? And so from there, I was nervous when I started doing my first psychic readings because I never considered myself psychic. I always had a connective ability, but I didn't quite understand how valuable it was, and I didn't know how to expand beyond it. But I had some very wonderful people that I came in contact with, that interact with me, asked me if I would do readings, just to give it a shot. And so I did, and it was really a confidence booster for me, and what really helped me to start going further and going beyond and seeing how far I can go with this. It's a big deal. Part of spiritual awakening is opening up with your eyes, with your heart, with your emotions, with everything, and starting to see a world that you never saw before. And sometimes when you open up to seeing some of the things that you can see, it can be overwhelming. That's why it's important that we have each other to help each other through these sort of opening up experiences, because they can be overwhelming, and we need support network. We need a support group. Anyway, it's just me making a voice. It's just an idea, right? Maybe you're the type of soul that's really good at making those websites to really create a support network group where we can all sort of hang out there and start sharing healing with each other, or start sharing our experiences, or I don't know. We've got to start somewhere, right? We have to start somewhere. But what this comes back to, again, the video I watched, I really appreciated it, the Hybrid Children channel, and the wisdom that she shared was really sweet and really honest and full of love and in the now, and I really liked that. And it was really what I needed to help me sort of let go of my real hard thinking and trying to get to the bottom of this, trying to get to the answer. I can't get to the answer. See, sometimes we need each other in order to get to the answers. And so anyway, I guess I'm trying to summarize this whole thing. It just comes back to this sort of extraordinary realization I had about gray aliens. I had about the time continuum. I had about deja vu, and that I was onto something with that all along. That deja vu really is a sign that I've lived this life before. What does that mean? On some level, it terrifies me. And on another level, I've already lived this life before, so it's going to be lived differently this time. It's meant to be lived differently this time. It's meant to be a different experience, which tells me that we can do this thing this time, that we can overcome what had us suppressing and transforming into a species that let go of emotional body and sexual body and morphed into gray alien beings. Anyway, I don't know what else to say, I guess. I just needed to make a video to talk about this. I can tell there's something about the energy right now. It's kind of soapbox energy. And a lot of us, you may feel inside your heart that you're really ready to talk about certain things. You're really ready to have really meaningful, deep conversations. You feel a lot of movement inside, a lot of courage to speak your beliefs and speak your truth. That's really what the energy feels like right now. And it's really been rustling me up, and it's so overwhelming. I gotta make these videos or else I'll lose my mind. I gotta at least get the thoughts out and know I shared them. Otherwise, they're just rumbling through my head over and over again, and I can't sleep at night. So it's good. I would rather take this soapbox energy than any of the sort of weird time shifts, weird stuff from 2016. 2017 is going to be quite a dynamic year. It's already proving to be really an interesting start. So I'm curious to see where it takes us all. Anyway, it's just a mini video to talk about this and then promote another channel that I really liked the wisdom on it. It really touched me and helped me kind of wiggle through some of my own thoughts that I wasn't able to put my finger on. So that's what I had to share. All right, thank you for watching. And as for this question, aliens in physical form, are some of them in physical and some in astral? I'll do some work to see what I can discover on that, okay? Maybe just do a channeled video for us all and we can kind of explore it. Because I haven't asked my spirit guides yet, and it's something I think it would be good to share. So thank you for asking, and thank you for everybody who comments and all of your support and everything. It touches my heart and really means a lot to me. So thank you again. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to share spiritual healing with you. I'd love to share psychic wisdom to help you in your life. If you are interested in connecting with me, my website is abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting my channel.